press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hi students, we have started the discussion on vectors and scalars in vector algebra in the last class or last video, and it's the most important tool I said in applications in physics. And in the last class we discussed what exactly the vector mean. What is vector mean? I told there are pure ratio, scalars, tensors, but a physical quantity is a vector. Vector is nothing but a physical quantity. This physical quantity should have magnitude, it should have magnitude and also the direction. Along with those two, having magnitude and direction, it has also follow the vector algebra. The rules, the laws, they are designed in vector algebra to add, subtract and multiply the vectors. That has to be followed by these. And also I told you, when you add the vectors, that should be commutative. Addition of vectors must be commutative. Under these four conditions, if a physical quantity has magnitude, has direction, follows the vector algebra, and commutative law of addition is followed, and completely to represent, we need a number, we need a unit, and also the direction. We say that quantity as a physical quantity as vector. Then how to represent the vector and noting the vector. In the last class, I taken how to represent a vector, because vector in geometrically we say it is a directed line segment having particular magnitude. So directed line segment having certain length A to B and having this arrow mark. Now notation may be vector AB. On appropriate scale, this has a magnitude that I told. If there is a velocity of a particle is 6 meter per second, and if I take 1 centimeter is equal to 2 meter per second, then I can think 3 centimeter length. This 1, 2, 3 centimeter length makes 6 meter per second under this scale. That is what I call appropriate scale. We taken the magnitude. Direction is given by this arrow mark. And A represents tail, starting point of that. End point is represented by the tip. And also I shown you, if I take the vector reverse B and A, now if arrow mark is like this, I have to write as BA. That means B is the starting point as a tail and A is the tip. B starts end with A. Vector may be same, appear to be magnitude same, but directions are opposite. And even in orientation on the scale graph you studied, I have told you north, east, west, south we have taken. In representing the direction, many times in the physics we are using some directional method. Suppose here if it is angle theta is 30 degree and you know it must be 60 degree. Vector is same, vector A. Vector is A no doubt, but it is how stated, vector A is from 30 degree, from east if you want to say, it is more towards the north. Now I say 30 degree north of east. North of east. That means from the east towards north, if you move 30 degree, you will get the vector A. The same vector can be represented from north also, but not 30, it is 60 degree. If I am saying here, if I consider this angle, east of north, the vector A same. East of north, from north you have to move 60 degree towards east to get this. Similarly, I can say in this also, vector A is here, if you are coming in this direction west of north, if theta is here, west of north, please see the arrow mark. If I the same I go for like this, the direction theta, then I say north of west, by which you can fix the direction correctly with reference line. Or it may be in this direction, coming towards this south of west, or you coming in this direction, west of south. From here it is west of south, from south to west you have to move. And you come here, it is east of south. From the south you have to move towards east. Or if you are coming that direction, south of east, from the east you have to come towards the south. Please remember that logic. Even we can fix the vector correctly when they use such words, north of east, east of north, south of west, west of south. The angle what exactly with reference line is available. That's one how we can come to know the directionally even in case of the graph like this. Otherwise they noted like this. And I told you, if initial and final point are not necessary, then a vector may be with a single letter we show. For example, f may be anything, any physical quantity. And I put an arrow mark on this. So this, a letter with the, arrow mark over the letter, then it is vector. But in reference is also there, writing with a capital bold letter F is also used to represent the vector. This is notation of vector, either like this or like this, if initial and final point are required like this. These are some references I given you how a vector is represented graphically with magnitude and direction, with initial and final point, or without reference we can magnitude and direction directly. We need not be necessarily the initial point where, final point where, what is the magnitude and direction is enough, either with this or this method. And even in the graph it comes, the directions how we fix the angles, north of east, east of north. So this is what in the second introductory part. In the first I told you what a vector is exactly, and in the second we come to know how to represent the vector graphically. And the third I am coming to translation of a vector, rotation and translation of a vector. I come to that, please note down this. So coming to the third introductory part as a translation of vector. Most important term in vector algebra. Suppose if you have a vector here, it is the vector A, have some magnitudes, the vector may be F, AB magnitude. Has magnitude AB, length, arrow direction, I mentioned the vector as F. Translation means condition 1, you can transfer in the same plane. In the same plane. In the same plane, we can drag it either downward or upward or sideward, will not change the vector. In the same plane, sliding the vector remains same. Vector remains sliding the vector remains same. That means its value is not changing, both in magnitude and direction is not affected. We are admitted in vector algebra to slide it or drag it to any position on this board. You cannot bring out of that. In a plane which you consider, in that plane you are able to drag it. Suppose if I drag it downward, for example, to some distance like this. So now this is the AB. Now again AB is here, this is the vector F and arrow mark. Both no change in direction, same is there. Or I can slide towards this like here. If I slide rightward with the same magnitude AB, now this is also F. Now even I can slide like this without. So you are seeing that the vector, we can slide either downward or even upward or to the left or to the right, as I shown. We can keep here also, by this side you can slide here also, AB as F, no changes in the vector value. It remains anywhere on this plane, it can be shifted so that its magnitude and direction is not affected. This is what translation of a vector actual meaning is. Coming to the rotation of a vector, second. Rotation of a vector, again in a plane. Let us for reference, if it is O and this is the vector A, you have. Now I rotated this through an angle of 2 pi. One rotation completely. I turned like this. I rotated this vector like this completely and brought back to original position. 2 pi radian. Not only once. If I multiplied by n, where n may be an integer like 1, 2, 3, you can think. So that you will have the answer, no doubt. What answer you get? Same position, same direction, vector same, vector is not changing. Vector is not changing, where n is a integer like 1, 2, 3. It is not changing at all, remains same. Provided 2 pi n, complete one rotation, it come back to the original position. Suppose if it is rotated to some position like this. Now vector changed. Because it is not, magnitude may be same, I am agreeing. We are not changed the magnitude. But as you turn for some fraction of 2 pi n, fraction of 2 pi, maybe 90 degree, 60 degree, 30 degree or 45 degree, anything. From its original position, if you turned fraction of 2 pi, then direction changes. Now this may be, for example, as you come to know, it is a southeast direction, it may be northeast direction. So both, I say vector changed, either the magnitude change or direction change or both change. Here direction is changed, I say vector is changed. Therefore I say, if a vector rotated through an angle other than 2 pi n, with n is an integer, vector change. Please remember this. If we rotate it fraction of 2 pi, vector changes in direction even though magnitude may remain same. But if you turn or rotated it through an angle of 2 pi n, where n is an integer, 2 pi 1, after 2 rotation 2 pi 2, after 3 rotation 2 pi 3, vector remains as it is, both in magnitude and direction. So first remember here finally, translation of a vector means in a given plane of the vector, you are permitted to slide it to any position on the plane, the magnitude and direction of the vector remains same. Vector is not changed. Even in rotation, vector will not change. If you turn through an angle of 2 pi, it comes to the original position. If any fraction of 2 pi angle you rotated the vector, direction changes, that means vector changes. We say vector changes. With this knowledge, I hope you have followed the third introductory part as a translation of vector and rotation of a vector. When vector remains same is the most important idea you have to remember here. And then coming to the concept of angle between the vectors. A fourth concept I coming to. Just to glance it, I come back to that. The fourth concept, angle between the vectors. How to measure the angle between the vectors? As a fourth introductory part before going to the vector algebra, let us see you are given the two vectors, vector A and another vector B. What is the angle between the two? You come to know we can translate or slide a vector. Let us slide this, may or may not be necessary, I slide here. So let us think I written here this vector A. The same vector I took here. And this vector I can slide slowly to this, so that this if I brought here it comes to be, I can range it out. If I brought slightly down here it comes to be to this position and I upward moving, you can write this, it's a B. What I actually did is, you remember tip of one vector, I joined with the tip of the other. Both, it is a tip. Both tip, by sliding the vectors I adjusted so that tip of the two vectors should join. Then angle between them is theta. Here also an angle, but this not we consider. This is the angle. What we come to know is, to measure the angle we can join tip to tip. Sorry, tail to tail. The case, sorry, make correction here, it is tail, not tip. It is a tail and this also tail. Tail to tail joined. This I shown here. You cannot join the tip to tail or tip to tip. This is the tail of the first vector and this is the tail of the second and made joint. To show tip to tip, let us the vector is maybe like this, B and A. Now I slide this here so that A is acting. If I taken to this position like this, at good sliding down, I can keep like this vector B. I taken here and slide it down. So we got the angle theta here. And this we not consider, and this nothing but a tip joined with the tip. Tip to tip we joined. In both either you can make the tail to tail or the tip to tip to form the angle between the two vectors. That is, I shown you the both cases, tip to tip and tail to tail. Angle what we have taken, there are two possible angles. One is smaller angle and larger angle. Always you have to consider the smaller angle. Smaller angle between them. Measurement should be always with smaller angle. How you come to know this? If I am going on increasing slowly, it become 90. And again I am still increasing, it became 180. So when the two vectors, this vector A now is here, maybe it may come to another vector, take another vector, and it may come to this position, angle become 180. So that is the maximum angle. You can think vectors, angle between the vectors can take maximum angle between vectors. That may be 0 to 180 degree. 0 to 180 degree. It cannot be higher than that. So similarly, I hope you have followed this. Otherwise, I will show that. Okay, let's have. So the third case I show you, if you are joining the two vectors, it is A and another vector B. So what is the direction? This may be 30 degree given means. Is it so? Means not, because tip of this cannot be joined with the tail. This is not the answer. Angle is not 30 degree. What have to do? You have to make this vector to slide down in the same direction. So now you will have this vector, the same vector I brought down, and it is vector B. Now you think the angle is 150 degree, I write, because total is 180. 180 minus 30, actual angle between A and B is 150 degree. So you have understood here? Tip cannot be joined with the tail. We made both tail. This is also the tail of that. Remove this. This vector you remove. I slide it down to this position and shown your angle between the two vectors is not 30, actual angle is 150 degree. That is what told. If it is becoming more than 180, other side angle rises. Therefore, angle between the two vectors can maximally take 180 degree. And in vectors, in some conditions, we preferably take for our conveniency. Any angle we measure above this in anti-clockwise direction as positive. Any angle we measure in the downward direction, clockwise direction from the reference line as negative. So this is one or two examples I have shown here. How to measure? If any two vectors you are permitted to move in the same plane, make either tail to tail join or tip to tip join. That condition 1. The second condition, there are two angles possible, inner and outer angle. So out of those two, which is smaller you have to consider. That is what smaller angle between them should be taken. And third, as you experience now, up to 180, no doubt this angle will be smaller. When you go 180 above, this side angle will be smaller. Therefore, maximum possible angle between the two vectors is how much? Means equal to 180 degree. Minimum is 0, both together. Maximum when the vector is going in opposite direction. That's what I taken here. Let us come to the one or two examples more. So let us, you are given some example, I tell you. If the vector A and another vector is B, may be of different magnitude here. But what we are seeing is, what is the angle between them is 0 degree. Their line of action is parallel. And such vectors which you see, later we come to know, called as the parallel vectors. And as a direction also same, sometimes it are called as like parallel vectors, or even they are called as linear vectors. Why so, we come in the next part. Just remember here, two vectors parallel to each other, their line of action same, parallel vectors or like parallel vectors or linear vectors called as. The second, if the vector is A and another vector B, now you are seeing the direction is opposite. Direction is opposite. So now how I come to know here, I have permission to say, because if the vector is A, if this vector is A, if it is the point, I can shift this to here and slide towards right. First I shift upward and slides towards right. You come to know that this vector B, both are in the same direction, theta is made 0. Similarly, if you consider here, in this case 2, in the case 2, if you take, first you raise this and bring it towards the left. So you will get this vector B. So I raised up and slide it towards the left. Now what is the angle between them is 180 degree. Now we say it is anti-parallel. Anti-parallel vectors. It is also called unlike parallel vectors, or called as a linear vectors. Collinear vectors. Collinear vectors. Like parallel vectors, collinear vectors, or anti-parallel vectors, unlike parallel vectors, or collinear vectors called as this. I hope you have found why the angle is 0. You shift it and slide, you will come to know both are acting in the same direction, theta is 0. When I shifted upward and towards the left taken, theta acting is, they are acting in opposite direction, angle between them is 180. Let us take another example. One vector is acting like this B, and the another vector is A, vertical and horizontal. I can make this also as like this, vector A, and if I slide and taken down, I can write like this. This is the vector B. Angle between them is 90 degree. Angle between them is 90 degree. If the angle between the two vectors is 90 degree, they are called as orthogonal vectors. Perpendicular to each other. A and B are normal to each other. Angle between them is 90. Then we call them as orthogonal vectors. Let us take an example of equilateral triangle. Please listen my word, equilateral triangle. All the side length are same, and inner angles you are knowing become 60 and 60 and 60 degree. If they are representing as three vectors, vector A, what is the angle between this first and this second vector? Immediately you will say 60. No. It is not 60 degree, because vector A is acting in this direction. It is the tip, it is the tail, but it is the tail of the second vector, cannot be joined. You have to make tail to tail, means this tail you have to shift here. That means you shift the vector towards right. Now this is the vector A1, and this will be vector, see now it is the tail of the second, tail of the first. Now this angle is the measured angle is 120 degree, because 120 60 become 180. What is the angle between the first and second vector? Not 60 degree, but right is the 120 degree. Similarly, if you see the vector 2, you have to extend. Vector 2 you have to extend here with respect to this, because it is the tip of the second vector, joining with third is not possible. To make the third one tail to tail, second one you shift, so that tail to tail join, again angle become 120 degree. And here also see, it is a tip and this is the tail, cannot be. Therefore, what we do is we extend this, slide down it. When you slide down, it is a third vector A, you got this angle is 120 degree. I hope you are understood. Don't say immediately when they mention 60 degree, what is the angle between the two vectors A and B, or A1 and A2 ask. It is not 60. See carefully the directions first. If the directions are opposite, it may be. If it is reverse, it may be 60. But it is tip and tail cannot be joined, the condition I told. If you want to get the angle between the two vectors you have to see tail to tail or tip to tip should be joined. And second, out of the two angles, you have to select the smaller angle between them. That conditionally may be more than 180. And I told you, if it is the horizontal axis, any measurement of angle usually we take above that is positive and below this as negative. Anti-clockwise positive from the reference line. Clockwise if we measure, it is negative. So this is one coming to that measuring of angles. I concluding from this little bit. I hope you are followed. Angle between the vectors, how to measure. Conditions I have written there. When it is become parallel vector or unlike parallel vector or anti-parallel vector or orthogonal vectors, and even that, how to measure the angle. Now, there may be simple question asked for you to measure the angle between the two vectors on the graph, how it can be. So, for example, take here is a x-axis. Now, this is the vector A, maybe making angle 30 degree, and this is the vector B, making angle of 60 degree, and here is a C vector, which may be 15 degree. And another vector D, which may be 45 degree. So, you are seeing this is the common point from which vectors are acting. All are away from this common point. Let us say I am asking the angle between, first question, angle between A and B. A and B, you want this angle. It seems to be easy because from the reference line, if you move towards upward, it is 60, it is 30. If you want this only, what we do here is 60 minus 30 as 30 degree, more easy job. There it does not come problem. Now let us take example angle between A and C. Angle between, second case, angle between A and C. So A and C. Now what is the value of A is 30. Now I am sign convention using minus, but what I say it is minus 15 degree. Take the value, how much become? 45 degree. Is it not right? From here 15, from here 30, total become 45. We also got 45 with sign convention used. Or let us come to the another example. angle between A and D, angle between A and D, that means this theta. So angle A is 30 minus of minus 45 degree, that become 75 degree. I hope you are following. It is 30. Again we go from here to here, that is minus 45. You are moving like direction and opposite direction, we reverse the sign convention. Let us, I want to measure the angle between these two. The fourth one, angle between C and D. C and D. So angle C is minus 15 minus 45. This become 45 minus 15. You got the answer 30 degree. Is it not 30 degree? 45 minus 15. Officially we get 30 degree. That is how the angle between the vectors conditions I told you. To measure the angle between the vectors, you have to see first, you have to join two vectors such that tail to tail or tip to tip should be joined, and two angles, interior and exterior angle. Whether it is interior or exterior, which one is smaller out of the two is considered as the angle between the two vectors. Under that condition, I also shown maximum angle between the two vectors can come to around 180 degree. And also I given you the plus or minus sign, how help you to, if it is moving anti-clockwise plus and taking clockwise minus from the reference line, if you have a reference line, measuring with this direction or this direction, and how the measurement of angle possible between the vectors. I hope you have followed this fourth one, that is again introductory part I have taken. With this knowledge, I am coming towards the various types of vectors. Plenty of number vectors we have. We have to name them. Here most important not definitions, but conceptually when we heard that word, when I say parallel vectors, what it is you come to know. Like orthogonal vector, the knowledge you have to have. Orthogonal means how these two vectors may be, the angle between them. In majority cases we get the angle, and in some other cases we have to know conceptually what it reflects, that word behind the vector. Let us we go to the types of vectors from this. I hope you are understood. I remove this, have a glance. So the fifth one, introductory parts, types of vectors. So types of vectors. So first you already understood, let us say take that first one as parallel vectors. So I told you parallel vectors, this is vector A and vector B. You have to think two things here. One, two vectors, a line of action must be parallel to each other. Line of action must be parallel to each other. And that means angle between them must be 0 degree. That means the direction must be same. Not only just parallel, theta 0 implies direction must be same. Then we call it as parallel vectors or like parallel vectors. Like parallel or parallel vectors means the two vectors are parallel to each other, act in the same direction. Magnitude may not be same. Magnitude may be different. Their line of action must be parallel and direction must be same, theta 0. Then we call parallel vectors or like parallel vectors named as. And coming to the second here is equal vectors. See, what is the equal vector mean? Only the difference I show you that here if it is A, this is B. See the parallel, no doubt theta is 0 and magnitude of both must be same. Both must be same. Magnitude same, direction same, they must be parallel. Then I say vector A is equal to B or vector B is equal to A. There is no difference. You can write A in terms of B or B in terms of A. No difference because A is identically with respect to this. Identically with respect to this. That what we are also called as identity vectors. That is equal vectors. Now, what I say is equal vectors may be parallel vectors. Equal vectors may be parallel vectors. No doubt, parallel vectors condition magnitude may be equal, may not be equal. But when we say parallel vectors, the direction must be same, they must be parallel to each other only. But when I say equal vectors, they must be in the same direction, action, and their magnitude must be same. Then only we say that it is a equal vectors. But parallel vectors may not be equal to equal vectors. That is not, reverse is not true. Equal vectors may be called as parallel vectors. Parallel vectors may not be called as equal vectors. Reverse is not true. Coming to the third, as anti-parallel vectors, or unlike vectors, unlike parallel vectors, unlike parallel vectors, in this case, anti-parallel or unlike parallel vectors, I show you this is the vector A and another vector B which is acting in the opposite direction. You see line of actions are parallel, but direction opposite. Theta is 180 degree. If they are parallel, but directions are opposite, they are acting in opposite directions, then we say them as anti-parallel vectors or unlike parallel vectors. Magnitude may or may not be same. Here they are not equal, therefore anti-parallel only we stated. I hope you are understood this. Compared to that, their direction, difference between those two, parallel and unlike parallel is, in like parallel direction same, here unlike parallel direction must be opposite. Let coming to the another fourth one, as a negative vector. Negative vectors, see this is the vector A, so I can consider another vector, same magnitude but in opposite direction. Theta is 180 degree, but magnitude same. I can write now here is A is nothing but B but in opposite direction, or I can say relatively b equal to minus a. Vector b, if has same magnitude, unlike parallel but has same magnitude, then b is negative to a or a is negative to b holds good. We say that to call a vector as a negative vector in comparison with the other, it should have the same magnitude but acts in opposite direction of the first one. Then we say it as a negative vector of a, or a is a negative vector of b. Again I am saying, when you are comparing these two, you followed that now you come to know that negative vectors are nothing but unlike parallel vectors. Condition is there, unlike parallel vectors but have magnitude same, then they are called as negative vectors. But again this reverse is not true, it is not hold good. Reverse is not right, we cannot accept this because magnitude are not same here. Here magnitude is same, acts in opposite direction. Here also we see in equal vectors, parallel vectors but have same magnitude. I think you find the difference between 4 parallel vectors, equal vectors and anti-parallel or unlike vectors and negative vectors. Now coming to the fifth one as collinear vectors. This is a term again to fuse above all. Better I say many times I can consider this collinear vector as a head for all these. We say collinear vectors are those vectors which are acting parallel or act along the same line. Angle may be 0 or angle may be 180. That means I fused all these vectors. These vectors are also collinear vectors. These are also collinear vectors. These are also collinear vectors. The definition says collinear vectors are the vectors parallel to each other, or their line of action may be same. They are along a line or parallel to each other, may be direction same or opposite. Angle between the vectors may be 0 or equal to 180. What is then collinear vector? We can think in these types. Maybe parallel like vectors or equal vectors or anti-parallel vectors, or it is negative vectors. I think you are followed. It is not a special case, it is the head of all. We can split in any other ways. Either parallel vectors or anti-parallel vectors can be together called as a collinear vectors. I think you are followed those 5. Coming to the next. Sixth one I take null vector or zero vector. Null or zero vector. So this is a special case. When we see here null or zero vector, usually we represented with symbol like this. On the letter O, above the letter O, we put an arrow mark, which implies it is a vector of 0 magnitude. Zero magnitude. I taken here the vector A, B. So let it be AB vector we have. If I made magnitude 0, that B become equal to A, now the vector A is a 0 vector. So I fused A to B together. Magnitude has not at all having. For example, I say, if a body moving with 2 bodies are moving, so body A moving with velocity 10 meter per second along east. So it is a vector A, VA. Another may be vector B, velocity again 10 meter per second along east. This is the vector corresponding to that. This is the vector corresponding to this. Most important, what is the difference in velocity between them? If I want a vector delta V I have to subtract VB minus VA. They are acting in the same line. I told you, if the two vectors are acting in the same line, then we can consider it as a scalar. Then I can subtract 10 minus 10. What is the relative velocity between them is 0 meter per second. So it has a directionality if you see. But what is the magnitude? 0. Therefore we say null or zero vector is a vector having 0 magnitude, arbitrary direction. It can take any direction. That arbitrary direction with 0 magnitude vector is called as a null vector. Let other an example, they studied in the high school about velocity and acceleration. When a body is moving with a constant speed, constant velocity, then its direction is not changing, magnitude is not changing. Then I say if velocity is constant, then acceleration is how much means, change in velocity by time. I hope you have studied change in velocity. When no change in magnitude, that becomes 0 by anything is 0 vector. Therefore, quite necessary in vector algebra, the 0 vector is, because to represent some quantities, to understand, we need null vector. Even though it may be having 0 magnitude, arbitrary direction, its representation is must. That you will know its importance in the physics when you enter into chapters. I think you have followed what is the null vector or a 0 vector means. Remember, a vector with 0 magnitude and arbitrary direction is called null vector or a 0 vector. Let's come to the another vector. So coming to this as seventh one, unequal vectors. Unequal vectors, when you compare the two vectors like this, it may be A or B. See, to say there are two things we importantly consider to say the comparison of vectors. Either in magnitude or in direction they should become same. See, here directions are different. When looking also the magnitude also different. Sometimes direction may be same, like this also it may present. Direction may be same, but magnitudes are different. Or magnitude may be same, I can take like this. Magnitude may be same, directions are different. Or like this, both are different. A vector may have different magnitude, different direction, or any one of them, or both of them different. Either only magnitude change, different magnitudes have, or may have different direction, or both magnitude and direction also may be different. Then such vectors are called as unequal vectors. Unequal vectors. I hope clearly with the example I explained you. Let us come to the next one. Eighth one, as a coplanar vectors. Coplanar vectors. Coplane, co means common. Number of vectors, however I can draw in this board. Maybe like this, maybe magnitude, direction, anything it may be, you can take like this. All examples which I explained so far, they are all in the same plane of the board. If it is not means, if I take this vector out of the board, then this vector which I am holding in my hand is not a coplanar. It is not in a single plane. If I chalk piece is a vector and showing like this with respect to this vector is not in the plane of this. It is not a coplanar vector. Or if I writing any vector on your paper, all the vectors which are drawn on the paper are the coplanar. All the vectors which are in the common plane are called as the coplanar vectors. Once I say coplanar, there may be opposite which are not in the common plane are called as non-coplanar vectors. Non-coplanar vectors. So you have learnt about Cartesian coordinates. In coordinate geometry I taken it is y, x and z. We have taken this in coordinate geometry. Now if I consider this, I call it as a xy plane and I am calling this plane as a xz plane. If I written a vector in this plane is another vector I written here, it is a coplanar vector, these two are. If I write here a vector, this vector b and vector a and b are not in the same plane, it is in the plane A. It is in the plane A. Now this is in the plane xz. A and B are not in the plane. Just like imagine this wall is xy plane. Floor is the xz plane. A vector in the wall, vector in the ground are not in the same plane. Then we say it is a non-coplanar vectors. Either any vectors you draw in the wall, all the vectors on the wall are the coplanar vectors. Any vectors you draw on the ground, all those vectors on the ground are the coplanar vectors. But when you take the vector from the wall to the ground comparison, then they are not in the common plane. Such vectors are called as the non-coplanar vectors. Coming to the next. Co-initial vectors. That means common initial point. The vectors acting from a common point. Vector A, vector B, vector C, vector D, if you look, all these vectors are starting from the common point O. We call it as all these vectors are co-initial vectors starting from the common point. I think you are followed. Co-initial vectors. Let's come to the other. Orthogonal vectors. Orthogonal vectors, already we discussed, two vectors mutually acting perpendicular to each other. If the angle between them is 90 degree, magnitude may not be same. If the angle between the two vectors is 90 degree, then they are called as orthogonal vectors, named as orthogonal vectors importantly. And coming to the 12th one, concurrent vectors. Concurrent vectors. Co-initial vectors you brought, you understood? Concurrent vectors means the vectors passing through a common point. Passing through a common point are called concurrent vectors. Even co-initial vectors can be compared with that. Vectors having common initial passing through the common point, the vectors are called as the concurrent vectors. Sometimes we are using concurrent coplanar, passing through a common point and in the common plane are called as the concurrent coplanar vectors. Here it is concurrent vectors means vectors passing through common point are called concurrent vectors. 13th, I am taking resultant vector. Resultant vector commonly writing like this. I told you one concept that vector A when we started the vectors, and I taken another vector B as an example. They are acting in two different directions. When I add the two, I get a vector shown, that one is a resultant vector. What is R? What is R is nothing but A plus B. When adding the two vectors, I got the R with the magnitude and direction here preferred. This vector which I am showing is a resultant vector. A single vector which replaces all the vectors acting together on it. Maybe many vectors are acting on a body. All those removed and a single vector if applied, effect is same. All vectors together, what effect give on a body will be given by a single vector, then that vector is called as a resultant vector. It is unique vector, a single vector which replaces all the vectors acting on a system. That is called as a resultant vector. Coming to 14th, as equilibrant. Equilibrant vector we represent RE. Now same you see, this is AB, now body is moved, it is acting in that direction. If I applied another vector directly opposite to this, so same magnitude, if I applied a vector exactly same magnitude, RE have same magnitude of R but in opposite direction, that is these two are negative vectors. If these two are negative vectors, what happens is, journey started from A, you reached point and this point and return to A means you are not done the journey at all. The total effect becomes zero. That if the forces are acting in this direction and this direction, another force you applied in this direction, what is the net force on the body is zero. Therefore, equilibrant, when we call equilibrant, it is a single vector acting on the body which make this entire system to come under neutral equilibrium. Come under equilibrium, not neutral, come under equilibrium, because resultant replaces all the vectors. Equilibrant make the effect of all vectors zero. Net effect on the body becomes zero. It is a single vector. There are many vectors acting on a body which giving some effect on the body. Resultant is I can replace all those vectors with a single vector which give that effect. But equilibrant is such a single vector, if I apply, it neutralizes the effect of all the vectors and keep the body in equilibrium. That is why called equilibrant. I think followed. Some vectors we applied, some quantities in the vector form applied, the body is feeling some effect. Resultant is I am replacing all vectors with a single vector which give the same effect all that those together given. But when I apply equilibrant, not resultant, you think there are some vectors applying on it. Now applying an equilibrant. What equilibrant do is, it not replaces all those, but will bring the effect of all those to zero. Come to equilibrium position. net effect on the body becomes 0. Single vector which makes the effect of all vectors 0 acting on a body is called as equilibrant. Therefore, equilibrant is always equal and opposite to, it is equal and opposite to resultant. It is equal in magnitude but opposite to resultant acts. So some examples we have taken starting from types of vectors, still more are there. We can discuss in the next class. Before that, I conclude here. So we started yesterday about, almost we are coming to end, another 5 to 6 types of vectors are there. Important I will take up those important vectors in the next class. So however, first you remember correctly in this introductory part of vector algebra, first what vector is exactly. It has to have the magnitude, direction, follow the vector algebra, must. And then how to represent graphically a vector notation, tip and tail, magnitude, appropriate scale and direction. And third we come to represent translation of vectors. Remember, in a plane, you can slide the vector to any position, vector does not change. And even in rotation I told you, if you rotated a vector through an angle of 2 pi or multiple of 2 pi in integer 2 pi n, then vector is not changing. And the fourth one I given you the angle between the vectors, tail to tail or tip to tip to join, and how to measure clearly. And I am trying to understand you, definitions are not most important, but conceptually just when the word comes in physics, you have to think how these acts are, these vectors are acting in that. Parallel vectors or like parallel vectors or collinear vectors, same. Parallel vectors, like parallel vectors or collinear vectors, same. Equal vectors, parallel vectors are seems to be same, but should have same magnitude. Anti-parallel vectors, unlike parallel vectors, collinear vectors, no difference, same. But unlike parallel vectors cannot be negative vectors. Negative vectors may be anti-parallel vectors. Reason you know. Then coming to this null vector, vectors having 0 magnitude, arbitrary direction. Unequal vectors I told you, the vectors having either magnitude different, between the two vectors when you are comparing, magnitude may be different or direction may be different or both may be different. Then we say unequal vectors. Coplanar vectors in the common plane, if they are not, then we call non-coplanar vectors. Co-initial vectors, common initial point, and co-concurrent vectors, vectors passing through common point. Orthogonal vectors, vectors acting perpendicular to each other. Resultant vector, I told you, many vectors are acting on a system. Those vectors can be replaced by a single vector which can give the same effect as that of all the vectors together. Equilibrant is a vector, single vector acting on a system which brings the effect of all the vectors acting on a system to be 0. It is always equal and opposite to the resultant. Remaining something we will discuss in the next class. So almost we have seen the 14 types of vectors in this class, and here and there we are using these terms, and even it's most important in mathematics also. Thank you, and we can see in the next class.